First and foremost, this sounds like an accusation before a question.
Oh, me, I have, yes.
Okay, the accusation is that I went ghost. And then what is the inspiration of the song? So I accept the accusation. It's facts. But the inspiration for the song is quite simple. I think a lot of these songs, when I begin doing them, I don't actually think about what it's going to be until the words and the ideas start coming. And so when it started coming to me, I think it was the pre-hook, toast to the boys, pour libation to the gods. Even though I could find myself diving deep into this kind of beating on your chest, feeling like you're pushing all your fears to the side. You're like in a forest of fears. You have your machetes, you're cutting them. That was the feeling I got. So I literally wanted to do a song that would soundtrack people wanting to have that kind of fearless feel. So it's somewhere in between shredding your fears and then also like just feeling yourself. So that was the vibe. So it was more of a vibe than it was like a clear messaging song. So that's why if you realize it, all three of us, our verses really are an interpretation of what that means. Molly is, from her vantage point, is saying legend in the making, make you try me, legend in the making, make you not try me, or whatever. Like she's feeling that kind of feeling. Vic is saying, I've been out here 10 years. I'm still on top out here. And I'm saying I've been in my armchair, but you know, good chair to boys put the comp in the rear. So even though I went ghost, now we are doing Kwadwo Sheldon and chair, no good chair. So I put a competition in the rear. Yeah, it was through Mike Mills, who's one of the producers on the song. Mike Mills worked a lot with me during the pandemic. We used to session up, and he was aware that I was working on a project in which I wanted to spotlight the next generation of Ghana, the next gen Ghana artists. So through that, he started playing me some of the young artists he was working with, and Molly was one of the first. And the first thing he played me, that first unreleased tune of hers, I was like, yo, she's super dope. She went on to release an EP. We were in touch on social media. She was there. Our first session together was when I was working on No Fear, and she was there. And she had not even jammed on a hip hop song together, but she's so much vibes that I was like, yeah, dude, go ahead, do something. And she went in there for like 5 minutes, boom, 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 and made it happen. So it was through Mike Mills, but it's through her talent and her promise that's why she's on the song. It has really nothing to do with anything else because she's dope. That's it.
But how is work ethic? Like how did you feel? I mean, how was it like?
Oh, Charlie, she's good to go, ready to go. Like, I mean, that's what I like about. You can feel the hunger. You can feel the hunger. There's one thing having talent. There's another thing having hunger, and I think she has both. You know, I can give Molly a call and be like, yo, I'm here with this producer. She'll hop in an Uber and quickly come. Here's the beat, make it happen. I've seen her in sessions where she's done 3-4 songs at a go. So she's dope, yeah. That one was a long overdue one because I think we first linked around 2015-16. So if I'm being honest, actually exclusive for you, if I'm being honest, he was supposed to be on Nowhere Cool.
Oh, okay.
So, but during that time when we were supposed to link when I went to America, different things were happening and the schedules didn't meet. But we stayed in touch. And then pandemic came, so as we all day house, we connected back, and then we started working on some songs. And so we actually worked on it before we came to Ghana. So technically, many fans go ball, but technically I've dubbed it last year long ago. But we decided to wait for him to when he came to Ghana to shoot the video so that it'll make it more interesting.
So this song was recorded way before you came to Ghana.
Yes.
Wow. M.anifest really confessed.
I know. No, but look, isn't it better that I had a video for it though? Yeah, you know, because people too, they feel bored when I release songs like okay and they don't see video. Listen, somebody had a whole theory. Yeah. What's your theory?
Oh, I don't have a theory. I want you to tell me the theory behind that. I want to know.
No, I think that was part of it, is to create some kind of mystery and intrigue about what is it that the suitcase is doing. What is it? What conspiracy are we involved in? So that was the concept was to create that intrigue, you know, so that at the end people will come with their own theories. So that's it.
That was it.
Yeah.
So there was nothing in the past.
Because you know. No. Was there something in the bag? The
You
briefcase?
know, you know when people
Yeah.
push, you understand? I was like,
No, something fit there inside.
what was inside M.anifest?
Something there inside. Molly was the last one with the case, so we forfeit ask him. Yeah, if you shouldn't get the case, me I take give Vic, you know, and then he take give Molly, so we for find out. And Molly was somewhere throwing it into the water and all these things.
But where was the music video shot? Like the place?
The places. There's a place behind the beach behind the Independence Square. It's actually, your friend is saying, a national security zone. So big up to the soldiers there who gave us permission. They were very kind to us. So, you know, this country is interesting, man. Some of the people you think would be problematic are not problematic at all. So shout out to the people who have power. What are the problematic ones? Sheldon, Kwadwo. No. I mean, if I'm being honest, we all actually become a bit culpable in that regard. We all have to look at ourselves in terms of how we become problematic. I'll give you one example because on my way here, something very immediate, right? Two examples actually. One is how we drive, right? Everybody is very impatient because we're complaining the next person is doing something wrong. But our own impatience creates more problems in terms of, and then the traffic. So Friday like this is an unnecessary traffic, not because there are many cars, just because there are many cars on the road. It's because of how people choose to drive. 2 lanes start developing. This, that, and third. Will be in it, no be here way. Second thing, there's a Pantine hospital here, right? As I was about to take the turn, there was a mentally challenged person, lying at the corner. And I'm like, there is a mental institute right here, but nobody's going to help get this guy in here. I mean, it's kind of problematic. I can't say maybe. It went good. You know, the thing that I like about these, you see, I tried to move away from challenge. That's why I call it No Fear Freestyle, because it's a challenge, obviously. But it's that once you find a creative angle, there are so many creative people, even if their regular job is to be a lawyer, teacher, or something, or soldier, something. So it's about really trying to find a creative angle to get people involved. And that was just the idea. The idea was, if I'm being honest, my people are just trying to get me on TikTok. And I'm always reluctant because the things you and other people can do, Lydia, for some money out there, I can't do it. I think I'm funny, but I can't go ahead.
I think I had this conversation with
yeah.
I was like, I don't see my man doing.
Yeah.
But
so
you did it.
yeah. So what happened was that once somebody in the team actually suggested that, yo, let's just do a rap thing. I was like, yeah, exactly. Do what you are. Don't try. And I thought it was the perfect thing to do because literally. And I wanted more people who are not rappers or aspiring rappers to do it. And it's always surprising the people who do it, you know. But I have to give it big up to Walasi because entries were coming in, but I think his was a turning point. His was the tipping point, I should say. Because yeah, and he makes it fun. He made it so fun. You understand? His interactions, everything. He made it so fun. I mean, people still enjoy it the most. He made it so fun. I'm observing to see because it's just been a week or so. I'm observing to see because sometimes it's hard to point what is responsible. So for instance, after the first week or so, we got on more playlists on Apple Music, like Africa Now, which is the biggest playlist, etc. So yeah, it's not like the Soulja Boy and those challenges that definitely all of a sudden you see it's taking off and getting you millions of that level of viral. But it definitely, I think it gives what do they call it? Something awareness, front of mind awareness for the song. And so, yeah, it's useful. But beyond that, I think we're in an era in which when you make music and you figure out how people can live with it and own it in some way, it helps. And especially for a hip hop track. And yeah, you know, yeah, for instance, what's the thing you do when you're in the shower and you're dancing? Absolutely. Because now that I've figured out I don't have to be doing what everybody's doing. Like the Ghanaian TikTok environment would not have made me come on because I'll just be looking and laughing and enjoying it, but I'd say like, this is not my kind of thing. But I see that there's a myriad of things you can do. I could actually set a new precedent on how to be a Ghanaian artist and TikTok without being, you know, as entertaining as yourself or Lydia Forson or even your best friend Shatta. Yeah.
So
yes, short answer. Baby, I'm kind, you know, just say yes. TikTok ready. We dip on it.
Okay, your album you're going to.
Oh, we're going to TikTok it.
You're going to TikTok.
No, but I've done exchanges, which sometimes it has nothing to do with money.
So where is exchanges?
A swap. I do something for you, a song for you, you do one for me.
But do you buy into the 100 Ghana cedis price tag?
You want violence between me and Shatta Clay?
No, I'm just asking your opinion. What do you think is...
No, did he say that, or did
Yeah,
somebody
he said
accuse
that.
him of saying?
He said that he tweeted that he bought
No,
it from
Sheldon, I think this is not fact. I think somebody said.
No, he said he tweeted. I have it.
You have a screenshot.
Let me show you. No, you buy them.
Okay, so are you asking, will I pay 100 CDs? No. I think people should be paid more than 100 CDs for a beat.
Yeah, because you paid 5,000 for a beat, which you said.
I said that.
You said you said someone asked for a smaller amount of money, and you felt like it was too small, so you added some.
Yes, I did that, but I don't know if it was 5,000.
It was 5,000.
No. I think maybe the total work of his work on the album might have been, but I don't remember paying 5K for beats. Oh, but yeah, man. No.
But how much are you willing to pay for it?
He said everything is negotiated. Everything is not a standard price. It's the same way that how much I will get paid for a show, the next person might not get paid for a show. Everything depends on many different things, right? It depends on for lack of a better word, it depends on the impact of the producer, and also sometimes the work they do. So that's the truth of the matter. You can't expect, no offense to anybody here, you can't expect this person to be paid the same as Pharrell. It's just the nature of the business. So it's business. The business is about value, right? What makes Tom Ford cologne so much more expensive than something else? You know, so I can't come here and this thing. I think, okay, this is number one. Producers, absolutely happy for you to get paid good value for your thing. But people should need to focus on value, and every situation is different. If there are people who I think, for instance, are in-house for certain artists, like an in-house kind of producer engineer. So what is that arrangement looking like? There might be different value in which goes beyond, okay, beats near way. Because the truth of it too is, this conversation has many layers to it. You can work with a producer and you can do 50 songs and end up releasing just 10. So the question is, should I pay for all 50? Should I just even give you compensation for just your time? It gets a bit complicated, but everybody needs to see any hole and then figure out the best business moves for everybody. Yeah.
M. When are we getting the album?
You know the thing they hate hearing the most, soon come.
No, I'm not accepting soon come.
I told you these days I don't announce those things again till I announce them, because the saboteurs are out here. But this year,
This year, you are
yes, I was straight up. But once I started, as I said, releasing No Fear, I said, is the first single release from the upcoming album. There's no way when you start releasing singles for an album, you can go Ghost anymore. So Ghost in the Asa. Right now, live in the flesh. I'm here with you. You understand?
You can give us some of the features.
Features. Why you people care so much about features? J. Cole to me album features in your. I say, and make you no worry. You just know that it will be well-rounded in that regard.
Okay. So there's going to be, you are going to have people on it.
No, there are people on it. It's not that I'm going to. The album now, it may be real. And just say I'm going to.
I said more kind. Why is a politician? The FBI is in the pipeline.
You know. Okay, so put it this way. Young fan say you were like head of the record label in which I am signed to, what would be the things you would consider when it comes to releasing a M.anifest album?
Oh, a M.anifest album. First of all, the content of the album, make sure say it be ready. You see, say the market is ready for the album and all these things. Everything.
But you're a business as a record label. What would you be looking at? You'll be looking at how to maximize your profits.
Yeah.
See, this is the difficult thing because we are independent artists. Even though we get distributors and other people to do work with us, is that we have to put on these different hats. When I create as an artist who know the care, who's trying to make the best music possible for you. After we are done, me and my team start working as a label. How can we get distribution? How can we be able to have the thing all over the place? Release the album, now Times Square billboards now there. You feel like it's because of the quality of the music. It's not because of that. That is the only thing that whatever. But you know what? No more excuses, because at the end of the day, what I've also realized, the lesson I've realized in this last 2 years of drought, you know, in terms of my fans complaining about drought, is this. Sometimes over calculation is also like you're doing no matter how you cross your T's, is also self-sabotage to a certain degree. So I'm in the zone where it's like I don't have to fully know everything that's going to happen and we're moving. Like everything that I wanted to happen before the album dropped has not happened, but it's dropping. You understand? So right now, Mitimo, and I'm like, me and we get into these fights all the time about these things because of that. Because but that's the thing. All of us, as me, him, and the fans, all want the same thing: great music, great impact. So at the end of the day, that's the focus now. I'm not going to make excuses. You can attack me still on the thing. Now, if you want me to meet with you, we said drop the album and you're waiting here. Oh, Kofi Black, I'm not talking to him to the album drops. I'm not talking to him there. No, listen, you know, what I've discovered is this, Sheldon. There's an interesting thing. I think sometimes, this is only true 50% of the time. Sometimes fans of the artist almost mirror the kind of person the artists are. I'm a critical person. My fans are so critical. It is wild. It's like they don't give me gaba at all. So it's like, wow, this thing is like we are like the same family and the same bloodline. Just the same way you can see other people who have certain behaviors, their fans. No shots.
So we are getting the album.
We're getting it. The album rollout has begun. Next single is out this month. Like when we're already in the middle of the month, so as you can tell, it's coming. So, and I'll give you the info. Wait, we're in a drop it time, man.
So we're drop it you can,
okay, then give me my info. The rest of the info. Hey, we're fast though.
Anyway, so now let's get back to the Grammy conversation.
Sure thing.
Are we ever going to win the Grammy?
Did Rocky Down win a Grammy?
No, he was nominated.
He was nominated?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far,
no Ghanaian, period.
I mean, there are some have gotten certificates and all those like Q Beats, Fuso.
No, Q Beats. Because Ed Sheeran won the Grammy, right?
Q Beats got a certificate for producing a song.
Okay, you won the trophy.
They made the trophy now.
Okay.
Do you think the kind of music that we are creating, yes, we are going to get a Grammy? Or it's more to it than just the music?
Well, that too. But the first thing is, let's look at what sort of categories would we be eligible for. For the most part, I think we've seen that the global album, whatever. The quality of albums, currently, I would say no. I think we make good songs, but I can mention on my two hands how many artists here, if we are being honest, make albums on a level.
Let's be honest here.
If you listen to an Akan album, it was well put together.
Okay, Akan.
You listen to a Kwadwo Q album, you know it was well put together.
Oh my brothers.
You know Walasi has put together great albums. What do you call it? I'm talking about albums I've heard. Yes. Forget it.
What about your album?
Of course. My album is Grammy worthy.
Right, so,
but listen.
Kwadwo Q.
Yes. No. Okay. Wait, headlines. Me who did that? Let me start this.
Okay.
I think for what we're supposed to qualify as that, we say, I can say, for the most part, a global album of the year. Are the albums we make, are they on a standard I think we can beat the competition? I don't think so. I don't think a lot of people put in the effort with albums. They put in singles, but the albums, for the most part, for me, can you say how many albums coming out of here could you say rivals made in Lagos? These are the problems we have. So we definitely have to level up on the music, on the album tip.
But don't you think the made in Lagos is just a matter of exposure? The album was exposed.
No, I listened to that album. It was marketed. I listened to that album.
So comparatively, you think that album is a better album than some of the albums that we have in the country?
You can tell it was well made. It was cohesive, sonically, the mixing, the songs, how they flow into each other, the sequencing. Yeah, absolutely.
That comes with investment, right?
Yes, and also just sometimes humbling yourself to bring other people who are very talented into your sphere. So this album that I've worked on, I worked with Mike Mills, and I also brought Radical on to kind of executive produce, to let go of the reins and let somebody else take it to another level and not just feel like me and Kwa, I know. And even that we've taken opinions from people. Like we had sessions with people like Nana Kwabena, Jidena's producer, etc., who give you ideas, etc. It's a process to really come through with a dope album. And anybody who's made a dope album, not just an album filled with songs people like, different so. Dope album, not just an album filled with songs people like, knows that it's a difficult process. So we definitely have some leveling up to do in that regard. Even some of the artists that I say have done dope albums, when I listen to those albums, I know that there's levels that they could take it in terms of sonically. I know that the production could be better, but the songs are great.
So this is your album that you are releasing. Are we going to get the Grammy?
Okay, so now let's talk about structure.
Yes.
Okay, so to be able to be eligible, there's certain things that have to happen. When you release it, who is the one putting it out? It has to be able to be officially distributed, and I think in the US territory. So I have to make sure some of these things, Muslim drop it. But if I don't cross my T's in those things, it won't even be eligible.
But we have given you enough time.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm not. You don't do make me fight.
Yeah, no, but so it's just not. So that's the thing. So those other things have to be satisfied. So I'll make it a free problem. Because the thing is this. I think it would be great, coming to your original question. Yeah, I think it's way more than possible. Just judging from the talent level in this our Ghana, it's more than possible for the Grammy. But I'm also the last artist to be fixated on that.
Do you care about it? Do you feel like you need a validation? That form of...
No, I don't need the validation. Not even the people who win feel like they need a validation. The people who win the most, the Kanye's, go and put their thing in the toilet.
But I'm talking about you.
Me personally, as a person, I don't need the validation. It would be nice, but this is the thing. I can't think of that because there's so many levels I have to scale. Understand? Like, look at how many years it took Angelique Kidjo. But we didn't even think or care because we loved her. She had such an impact. My childhood was Agolo. These things. Did I care when I was a child listening to Angelique Kidjo whether she had won a Grammy? No. Does Tupac won a Grammy? Would you care?
But Nas has a Grammy now.
Before his Grammy, he was Nas.
Yes.
After the Grammy, he's still Nas.
But
I'm not trying to. I'm saying these things are great, but they are not the end of your career and impact and legacy. I don't even know if DMX has won a Grammy, but I know the kind of impact he had. He hasn't. That's what I'm saying. Nimpo, but without knowing, I know that his impact is immense, and that's the kind of legacy artists aspire towards or for. But at the end of the day, that is what's more important to me. I focus on things about legacy. I focus on things on impact, being able to transform the scene, being able to have maybe another whole bunch of artists come and say, yo, you know what? When you put out Nowhere Cool, when you put out this album that it changed me. And then now I'm going to make music. The same way Paramuka changed how this whole next generation of rappers, and not just rappers, even musicians, make albums. You know, so yeah, the short answer is and I'm a daydream, but I'm not going to try and poo-poo on it because it's great. It's great for people to see accolades and why not? Yeah.